transatlantic slave trade. But this particular exhibition is all about Nigerian voices against slavery. Even in the books these days, the books we read, they only mention mostly the white abolitionists. We hardly talk about the blacks. But this exhibition is talking about the Nigerian voices, the African voices. If you want to read about the abolitionists, most times you see William Wilberforce, Joseph Louverture, and so many other people. But now, why don't we talk about our own people that stood for our right? Let's use example. Okay. In 1861, the Lagos Treaty of Cession between the British Empire and Oba Dosunmu of Lagos effectively ended the slave trade in Lagos and the neighboring territories. Have you heard about it before?
Yeah.
That Oba Dosunmu signed a treaty with the British Empire. You've heard about it? You've heard of it before? Huh? In history, right? The Slave Dealing Proclamation Number 5 of 1901 was a colonial law that outlawed slave dealing in northern Nigeria. Currently, a similar statute in the southern Nigeria protectorate criminalized slave dealing, subjecting violators to a penalty of up to 7 years imprisonment. Now, let's see. Elada Okwanu. Have you heard about this man? You've never heard about Elada Okwanu. Elada Okwanu, also known as Gustavus Vossa, was a prominent African writer, abolitionist, and one of the key figures in the British transatlantic slave trade abolition movement. Born in Iseke, present-day Anambra State, around 1745, Okwanu was captured and sold into slavery as a child. He was transported to the Caribbean, where he spent several years before being brought to England in the 1760s. Fine, this man was captured at a very tender age. Then how was it possible for our people to trace his route back to Anambra? Because of some of the things he wrote in his book. He talked about his culture, the way his people dress, the kind of food they eat, the kind of gathering, everything about his people. The only things he remember, it's inside the book. So through those explanations, they traced his route back to Anambra.